morning. It is me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers. And this is Tuned in Tarot. And it is Emperor Week. So, to balance out Empress Week, which was about 2 weeks ago, a little under, we are going to now read from the perspective of the divine masculine energy inside of ourselves. Understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our environment, etc. So this is about masculine worth energy. And it is about our own masculine worth energy. And if you're masculine watching, this is about you focusing on your masculine worth energy and taking the focus off of divine feminine. We're going to start the week with the normal type of spread that I do, where I look at 6 cards, top and bottom of the deck, in head space and heart space. And then we're going to read oracles, which will be general guidance for the rest of this week. On Wednesday, we're going to look at obstacles, the divine masculine faces, and what he needs to release. And on Friday, we will do the reading that shows exactly how to do the release. And then you can take the weekend to do that work. And on Sunday, check in on the connection again with Grace Draga and myself. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. I am going to switch my Wi-Fi back on and see if it's working better than my... It's always a toss-up to see which is going to be the better connection for the reading. Hopefully, the Wi-Fi is working better than my data, but you never know. All right, first card, top of the deck, overall headspace, forefront of divine masculine's mind, is the 9 of Swords. This is why we're here today. We're here because divine masculine has not been looking so hot in his side of the readings. When we went back after taking that week and focusing on the Empress energy, divine feminine was going strong and divine masculine was looking a little bit green around the gills. So we are now seeing that this is still true for him. He's got a lot of worry and a lot of anxiety, and he feels like he's being attacked, bombarded by these worries and fears. He's feeling or thinking about, I think, everything that is occurring between the two at this time. And it's really kind of driving him away. He's looking like he's running away, and he's in this runner energy right now. With divine feminine entering into Empress energy and being in her power, there's that shift that happens, which kind of is this desire to pull back into this chaser energy. But divine feminine energy really has to resist that energy. So any sort of like advances that may have been made, divine masculine is just running from it. Like, he doesn't know what to think. He has fears and worries about how things often go. And he's just really afraid that these things are going to keep happening. Like, he doesn't have control over himself and the way that he runs. There's this structure crumbling here in the back. So that's tower energy too. It's like he's got to tear something down or something like this. And it's really difficult for him to let this go. Or he's concerned about it happening. There's really a lot of chaos here. There's also a snake in the mix. We see this energy here too. So there's this potentially this outside energy, and it looks like he's made attempts to try to kill it and has been unsuccessful. Like, it's still actively bothering him. It's still actively on his mind. And then we are getting the niggling thing in the back of his mind, the Hermit. So this is sort of just a natural progression. If you're filled with fear and worry and anxiety, and you feel like there's something that you've been trying to to take out, and it just will not leave. And everything around you is kind of crumbling. It makes sense that the thing underlying everything is just he wants to be on his own. He wants to be alone. He's just kind of retreated. The runner then retreats. And he's searching for answers because he's got all of these questions in his mind about what he desires and whether he's kind of lied to himself, or, you know, if what he's currently worried about is just sort of like he can't tell what's true anymore. He has having a hard time trusting his thoughts. So he knows that the best thing for him to do is really to just go within and seek these answers. But this also is what is giving him anxiety, because he knows that as he does this, as he retreats and goes within and runs, that more of this chaos is taking place outside. So it's like he's here inside, but all of this shit is going on, and it's still going to be going on when he comes out of this. So there's that conflict there with this pull for him to go into this retreat. The first thing on his mind is the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. I just watched a reading, and like a lot of these cards I'm looking at were in the reading for Divine Masculine Energy. So it's just crazy to see them here again. But we see this lack mentality that he has been sharing with Divine Feminine Energy, because they have definitely shared this between the two of them. We see him really seeking to come out of this, really releasing the limiting beliefs that have kept him in this state of lack in the past. We're using the Cosmic Tarot today. And again, we're seeing behind him, it's like there are these ruins again. And it's not typical imagery, honestly, for a 5 of Pentacles. Normally we're seeing a sanctuary of some kind. But in this card, there is no sanctuary. There's nowhere to go. And we have this Hermit energy. I am concerned about just don't know if my connection is working today. So we see him in this retreat. He's going within his own sanctuary, because there isn't a sanctuary outside of him. Outside of him is all of this chaos. And that's what he's leaving behind. That's what he, like, when he has kept feminine energy outside in the cold, it has been because this is what it looks like inside. It's collapsing. It's in ruins. It's not something he has a whole lot of control over. It's unstable. It's unclear. It's foggy. This is what this Hermit energy is for. He needs clarity, because he doesn't really have anything he can give at this point. This is what has been bothering him. This is the thing that has been worrying him on his mind. That he wants to come out of this 5 of Pentacles energy, this lack energy with Divine Feminine, and he wants to be able to have this material realization. But he's unable to offer her any stability. Bringing her out of the colds doesn't really offer her the kind of stability that he would want to be able to offer her. And then the next thing on his mind, his current energy right now, is this Ace of Wands. So he's really thinking about what it is that he wants, what he really desires. And there's passion and inspiration there in regards to it. And it's consuming. Like it is his current energy. His current energy is, I know what I want. I want to bring this Divine Feminine energy out of the cold. So when we're looking at this as our own energy, this is, I have this creativity. I have this emotion and this receptivity. And I want to bring that part of myself out from the cold where I've left it, where I've abandoned it because I've been focusing on, like, I just needed to make money. So I took a job that wasn't satisfying to me, and I just kept working on that, in that drudgery, day after day, abandoning the passion I had inside of myself, abandoning the creative energy, and the receptivity to like new life. Good morning, thank you for joining. So when we're doing a divine masculine reading, this is how you can look at it as your own energy. You're going to take what I'm saying and you're going to apply that to a masculine energy in your life, but it's truly your own. So if you have been ignoring your calling, if you've been ignoring your passions, if you've not been allowing yourself to be creative, then this is how you are mirroring this masculine energy. But this is what we're seeing. Divine masculine wants to bring the feminine energy out from the cold, but he's unclear exactly how to do this. And the next thing that's coming up is very interesting. It is the Empress in reverse. What we're looking at this week for Emperor Week, what we did when we focused on the Divine Feminine for a week is we helped her come into her Empress energy. And she did. Because when we did her readings last week, we were seeing her and she was on fire. And now we're seeing that in the readings last week, the Divine Masculine's energy was still where it was before Empress Week. So we're like, okay, our feminine energy is creative, is receptive, is feeling like a visionary, is feeling like she has a foundation, is feeling abundant, is feeling creative, right? And the masculine side of self is, it was coming up pages, like all of the reversals and no emperor energy that wasn't about like being very much in control. A lot of reversed emperor energy. So divine masculine's desire is for this empress. But why is she in reverse? To see an empress in reverse makes me think of when we become too overbearing and too overprotective of the things that we are desiring. So that Ace of Wands is so strong within him. This desire for her to be in his world is so powerful. But he's being extremely overprotective and overbearing in regards to this energy because of the fog from which he's working from. Because his future is unclear. His sanctuary isn't in this image of the Five of Pentacles. We don't know exactly where he's going because he doesn't know. And that's what this whole crumbling situation is about. It's like he built some structures, he made some plans, and he has some things in place for the Divine Feminine. But for whatever reason, all of this has now crumbled around him, caused him to retreat and go into this hermit energy so he can figure out exactly how to bring her out of the cold when what he's bringing her into is in complete chaos. Because there has been a release of a past energy that could have been this reflective energy, could have been overbearing, overprotective. And his desire has been to release that energy so that he can bring in this new energy and have his material well-being. And we're seeing in the past placement, clarifying this Five of Pentacles in reverse, exactly what I was saying. This 10 of Pentacles here, this is what would be offered once we bring Divine Feminine out of the cold. But what does it look like right now? It's in disarray. It is something he has had to let go of. He has had to release a lot of abundance. Maybe he had to pay a lot of money to past energy if there was a division in property and estates and like all that kind of stuff from legal contracts that have been broken either through divorce or careers, jobs, contracts, whatever. Things that did not go well, that did not pan out. And it's like if we took every one of these cards that are in his headspace and flipped them upright, this reading, I would have a huge smile on my face and we would be like, Emperor Week is finished, because everything would be, it would just look so good. But we're looking at this, right? This is his overall energy. So we know that everything on his mind right now, for the most part, is terrifying. And he's afraid and worried and anxious. It's like, here's his 10 of Pentacles. He's had to release his attachment to the outcome. He's had to release his lack mentality in regards to it. But now he doesn't have any idea what it is that he's going to get. And that's why he's being so overprotective of this feminine energy, because he's like, oh, God, I can see that we're meant to be together. I know that I desire that. I really do want to have this union, but at the same time, I don't know what we're getting into. I don't know if it's safe. Thank you. I'm glad this is resonating for you. The next thing on his mind is the sun, and it's upright, which is really lovely, especially because it's clarifying this Ace of Wands. And this is the current energy. So this is why he's like this. Why else would you be this panicked? Why else? If you can taste your desire, if it's here in your present moment, here it is. You just have to do this one thing to experience what you've been longing for. The inner child wounds are healed. There's enlightenment here. Our desire that our ego, that we started with from our ego, has now become about the divine. And so this is fantastic and also terrifying. Also terrifying, which is why he's in that hermit energy of like, oh, I think I see that I can have my happiness here, but like, what if I fuck it up? What if I fuck it up? Which is the next thing on his mind, the last thing on his mind. Here's the Ace of Cups. Now remember I said, what if everything was upright? If everything was upright, okay, let's read this as if it were upright. The Five of Pentacles, this would have been in the past placement. This would be that this is where the divine feminine energy has been. And that divine masculine now desires, here's this upright, to bring the divine feminine energy into his world. And this would be him taking his past energy, taking his, look, his hands over his heart. He's got peace here. And this is a strange 10 of Pentacles. I chose the Cosmic Tarot at random today to represent the headspace, and we have this strange energy here where there's no family in this card. It's just this one individual who's like proposing, right? This happiness and offering his cup filled up. Whoa, shit. You really wouldn't have to be worried now about that, would you? If everything was in that position, it would mean that that's what you were going to do and you weren't worried about it. But everything is upside down and you're worried about it, because if you have to go ask somebody to marry you, it's kind of scary. If you have to go ask for an apology for something that you did, which was kind of shitty, it's scary. And if you feel that there was another divine or another feminine energy in the mix that depleted you, it's even more scary. We saw that snake here, right? There's that energy, that vampire energy, that divine masculine carried in from probably a nurturer from the past and then became like partners that you would be attracted to. It's scary. And okay, and so now let's check yourself before you wreck yourself. You're like, yeah, divine masculine is scared. You are scared. This is your energy. We're looking at your energy, masculine worth energy inside of self, because we are a blend of both of the energies. So your heart's desire is here. You're being overprotective. You're being overbearing. You might be doing some chasing. You might be doing some running. You have this happiness within your reach, and you're scared. You're scared to receive this offer. You're scared of the past energy you've experienced. You're scared of the past energy that this outside energy brings with it. You are just as frightened. So let's go look at the heart space, because we're hoping that the heart space is going to be balancing out this energy and that my job won't be so hard today. And you know what? It looks pretty good so far because look at the top of the deck. Overall feeling of Divine Masculine's heart space is the Empress. Can I make this up? Technically, you did not see the shuffle today. I've been getting lazy about setting the camera up on the left side of the desk, doing the time-lapse shuffle, posting it, taking the camera, putting it here. I know, it's pathetic. I just didn't want to do the extra steps. So you're going to have to trust me that I shuffled it. I did. And the songs that came on also, I kind of wish I had been doing it live, which I can't do anymore because they blocked the songs because of copyright issues, which makes sense. But I wish you could have seen it because it was fucked up. I started off with the song. So I use Apple Music on my laptop. And I hit play, which usually will just play any random song in the library. I had turned off shuffle the night before because I was listening to the Sufjan Stevens 2020 record, which was so good, by the way. OMG. I don't know why it took me a year to hear it, but I did, and it was incredible. So I had turned shuffle off, so that I realized shuffle was off, and I needed to be on to shuffle with the shuffle to get the messages that we need to tune into. So I hit shuffle, and the song that first played was the song Take On Me, which seemed relevant to me. And I just let that play because that was a random song. And then the next song tried to play and it just wouldn't play. And then I was like, okay, well, so sometimes I'll take that as a sign and I'll skip it. But then none of the songs would play. And I was like, wait, is my internet fucked up? So like I went and looked at like my Hulu and tested it. Like, no, Housewives of Atlanta is going to play just fine because we had to move on because we finished Beverly Hills yesterday. Anyway, so I was like, okay, my internet's working. Back to iTunes. What the hell? Still not working. Turn it off. Turn it back on. Hit play. And the song I Won't Be Long comes on by the artist Spec. So those were the two songs for today. Take On Me and I Won't Be Long. Take On Me by Tears for Fears. You can go listen to that. Also watch the video because it's incredible. And you should listen to both songs because the messages are definitely relevant. And now we're seeing the Empress energy. I don't even know why I started talking about that. Oh, I guess because of the songs that we're going to play and the Take On Me energy. The heart space, this is his desire, right? He's thinking about his desire. What is it? Well, there it is. It's the Empress. And it's on both sides, the Empress, right? Because this was clarifying this as well. This is what he's being protective of and overbearing of. This is what he's had to release past energy for in order to be able to be in this abundant creative energy of his own. The niggling thing is the Tower. So the niggling feeling is everything we talked about when we looked at these images here from his headspace, which was all the Tower crumbling energy, all these pieces and parts that need to be released, and how there's fog here and not a lot of clarity about what is going to be rebuilt because, you know, when the Tower crumbles, you have to rebuild. So there's not a lot of certainty about it. But it is something that he's doing. Look at these hands here. This is such a beautiful image. This is from the Rachel True Heart Intuitive Tarot. And in this case, there are these two hands and they're holding on to these pieces. And they're going to burn. If they don't let go, they're going to burn up with this. You can't salvage this very interesting image. So he's done everything he could to try to hold this tower together and got burnt in the process. And now this future, this sanctuary that he wants to offer, it's unclear. So he's working on his foundation. Here's the Four of Pentacles. Now, this, again, because we're using this deck, it has this beautiful transformation imagery where normally we're just looking at this image of, you know, a solid financial foundation, etc., which is lovely. But there's also a clinging energy and this kind of sense of uselessness that comes from clinging to coin. In the Fountain Tarot, which is one of my favorite decks I use a lot for feminine headspace, the image shows this tent with 4 pentacles stacked up in a snowy setting. And it's like you can't You can't rub coins together to start a fire, right? You need kindling to start a fire. You need inspiration. You need wands energy. And the material, not so useful. So I'm thinking about that image because, again, we're seeing this tent here and we're seeing these pentacles. And he's been determined, because this is the past placement. He has been determined to try to rebuild the foundation that he couldn't keep from coming down. And that's where he's been paused in this energy and trying to transform those pieces into something that he could actually work with. And this is what has been delaying this reunion. There's the 6 of Cups. This is also about a loss of innocence. And look, there's those butterflies again. This transformation. And if you saw the reading yesterday with Grace Draga, there was a lot of transformation energy in that reading as well. So this is a card that's about the past, releasing the past. And it is about coming into reunion with someone. It's about bliss. It's about having a sense of the necessity of all aspects of experience. The earth, the emotion, the air, the fire of transformation, all of that is contained in past experience and important. His desire has been to release what he was so attached to in the past. And it looks like it has been extremely difficult. Here's the 5 of Wands, and it is clarifying this feminine energy. So it looks like a past feminine energy that's, turned him to stone in a way. This is where we're seeing this fear about getting hurt again if he offers his cup. Or he's also really feeling this block of not being able to shift into this place where he can be with divine feminine and honor her abundance and her creativity and her beauty and really adorn her and give her everything. He feels like he's trapped, and there is that snake energy again, that past energy that makes him feel this way. And there it is again. Oh my God. I can't with these fucking placements. First of all, here's the union. The heart knows that he is overthinking and entrapping himself. That this is an illusion. This is an illusion. There's no one attacking him. There's nothing bad happening. Remember what happened when we shifted the cards? Just whoop, whoop, whoop. The possibility, the potential is here. He is his own worst enemy. This brain of his, this dominance of the masculine energy, this is what is keeping him imprisoned. He's imprisoned in his own mind. And what is this clarifying? This 10 of Pentacles. His need to approach divine feminine with all the money in the world, that this is what is going to make him confident. This is also about his image. Worried about how he appears, how he looks to others, how he will, because this is a big part of who he is. It might be a part of his career even. And he's very attached to the perception of their lives together, etc. And so he has all this fear. He also is having all of this anxiety and all of this overthinking about having to release that past energy, that Medusa energy. So there is like a whole family that is having to be released here. And this is what keeps him trapped. And oh my God, I can't fucking make this up. Jesus H. Christ. Holy shit. Jesus, sorry, but there's so much union. I just want to jump out the window. We already had this union with this 9 of Swords. Here it is. Okay? This is that. We have this 9 of Swords clarifying this 10 of Pentacles in reverse, right? There's that. Well, then this 9 of Swords is also clarifying this 10 of Pentacles also in reverse. There's that. Which is clarifying his happiness. Which is he could be happy, but he won't let himself. He will not let himself because he will not release that past energy. So his next home, his next family, it is in limbo because of his attachment to his image. So he can't taste this happiness he wants to have, right? So there's that. There's that. And then this is clarified. This Ace of Cups in reverse is clarified by the Ace of Cups upright. Are you kidding me? Which means every single one of these 6 cards on the bottom of my spread is in union. What? Where is my masculine? Because I'm in union with head and heart. My head, my heart knows all of this. This inability to release this past ego attachment is blocking me from offering this cup. But it's upright in my heart space because knowing this and feeling it means that Divine Masculine himself, I shifted this card upright when I was talking with you about it. Divine Masculine did it without me. He knows what he has to do. He has to take this cup that he's filled with love and he has to pour it out if he wants to be with this Empress, which, by the way, was also in union. Holy moly. All right, let's look at these oracles. Let's get this shit together, man. Imagine we get to the end of Emperor Week and we have an Emperor and we have an Empress. Empress, you better stay in your Empress energy this week. If I get to the end of this week and I have to do an Empress Week, I'm going to be so mad at you. And I'm talking to myself. Okay, Divine Masculine, here is your help for this week. You are in the shadow attributes right now of the mystic, which means that you're not quite reveling in this union with the divine. You're in union. You saw it here. If you didn't believe it, I really wish I did have that shuffle on camera today now because God damn it, that's insanity. But you are in complete union. And there is this sense that it's still not enough for you. You're still not quite feeling like that's enough. You're like, no. The next Empress Union, the return to the past Empress or a new one? Well, no, there's no return to the past Empress. That is definitely what is being released. But if Divine Masculine returns to the past version, that's if you're considering this person outside of yourself, then that would be that masculine's Empress. Because this is who Divine Masculine will choose to offer the cup to. So if it ends up not being you, then you would be the past energy that your person outside of yourself is releasing. But this is you, your energy. So you feel like it's very difficult for you to release this past energy as well. This is the past feelings and emotions you had in regards to a specific iteration of a Divine Masculine energy. You are the one that's keeping yourself trapped by thinking constantly about this process of trying to release this specific attachment. And you know in your heart that your happiness depends upon your ability to release your attachment to the outcome. The fact that you are focused on one specific outcome is what is blocking you. So when you see this, so if I use myself as an example, I have feelings and attachments to a specific iteration of my masculine. And I want to be with that masculine to the point where when I was being told to date, by my readings, I tried to do the dating thing. It did not work for me. I could not make it work. I am too attached. So I stopped. There was no sense in it. I pulled back from that. But if I don't relinquish this feeling that I have to have these past emotions, these past feelings for this specific person, I'm blocking my ability to move into my future because my inner child is healed and I have enlightenment and I'm merely attached. Now, my masculine is this one I'm attached to is not communicating with me outside of indirect communications, very vague, and I have no idea if I'm just reading into the messages now at this point or not. So I don't receive any information from this person. I know that that person has past energy that has needed to be released. I don't know what the status of that process is. So when I look at this and I see, well, I'm still attached, I can say to myself, well, this specific iteration is maybe still working to release this attachment to the past energy. But that could also be me. I don't know. Which is why when you come to these readings, you can make assumptions about people in your life as much as you want to, but they are assumptions because I'm not reading for that person. I'm reading for you. So yes, your assumptions might be accurate, but the only accuracy is that this is the struggle for you right now. You can't be happy even though you have enlightenment and your wounds have been healed because you are attached to one outcome. You want it to look a certain way. You want it to be a certain way, and it's blocking your ability to feel good. But you're doing that work that needs to be done of filling your own cup, and when you are in your own self-love, then you will see the reflection, right? There's the cup in the field tarot, where when you look at the Ace of Cups, right below it, there is a reflection of the cup that comes back to you. So the truth is, if that person took past energy, that would free you and you could move on. And that would be your enlightenment. That would be your Ten of Pentacles shifting. All right, so Divine Masculine, let's go back to this archetype now. So this archetype that you have been in, you have not really been reveling in divine union, right? You know that you must, but you haven't been. You've still been focused on material union, not spiritual one. You're welcome. Spiritual union trumps, doesn't it suck we can never use that word the same way again, trumps material union. It does. It just does. You're like, no, it doesn't, but it definitely does. And how do I know that? Because most of us have had physical union before, and like it didn't change our lives utterly and completely, as far as I know. Spiritual union completely transforms you. 100%. You are never the same again after it. It's much more fulfilling. And it allows you to be in this kind of strange detachment, which as spiritual light workers, we kind of need to be in, where everything becomes unimportant. Nothing is more important than anything else. Everything has value. Everything is. And that's the state of spiritual union. It's not as exciting as the messy shit that you're doing now. I'm going to be honest with you. If you like the messy shit, there's a different path for you. It's not this one. You get to do a lot of really fun, amazing things. You get to experience power, but you don't care about that power anymore because your ego's not in charge. And Divine Masculine needs to come into that light and actually be reveling in the intimate union with the divine and have that be what this whole thing is about. As soon as that happens, this stone goes away. This block goes away. Revel in spiritual union. And just to emphasize that, here's your guardian for today, which is God, the divine, and love. Because I just got a call there. You already love. If you already love, you are in intimate union with the divine. If you already love unconditionally. Now, if you love from your ego, you won't feel good. You won't feel good because when you love from your ego, it's quid pro quo. You love to love because you love to receive love. It's not about giving, it's just about receiving. When you come into this enlightenment, when you release the attachment to the material, just to have loved at all feels fulfilling. There's not loss or longing there. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. Can it get more synchronistic than that? Revel in the divine. What is the divine? Well, the divine is love. What happens when you realign with love? Oh, a clear direction is provided. Do you need a clear direction? Yes. Why? Because we spent the whole beginning of the reading talking about all this fog here that you don't understand, right? As my drag king Rude Paulo comes out. That's my divine masculine voice. Whenever I get checked, like in my subconscious reprogramming, like the first time I discovered that like desperate was part of my shadow. God damn. Keep getting a bunch of messages. I was like finding out desperate is part of my shadow. And my higher self was like, so you're desperate? So no one's ever been desperate before? Are you the first person to ever be desperate? So that's my inner voice. Rude Paulo. Okay. Divine masculine. Willpower. You have willpower to do what it is that you desire. I cannot believe how many text messages and phone calls and interruptions I am getting in this Mercury retrograde ass reading today. God damn it. Stop distracting me, please. Willpower. Look at what you have the willpower to do. Oh, it looked like it was spinning. Like I thought it was just spinning it on her finger. You might as well go ahead and do that. But you have the ability to, first of all, envision this world that you want and then reach out and take it. The moment you align with love and do this thing, look, there's that world. And look at this. There's your conflict. This says, lighten your load. And 2 times in the readings that I saw today, it was about asking for help from others. You have the willpower and you want this to be true. You want to be able to be the one that handles this world and makes it all happen and completes this cycle. But the divine is telling you, actually be in union with me. Lighten your load. This is not your responsibility, and it's pretty egotistical to think that it is. It's arrogant as fuck to think that you can do this without me, without the divine. So you're needing to lighten your load. You're needing to, this is the 10 of Wands energy, putting down a burden. You're needing to communicate. You need to ask for help to get what it is that you desire. Expect powerful change. You better expect powerful change. You're going to be here on Wednesday. We're going to look at this obstacle of yours, which looks like it has something to do with the past energy. We're going to figure out how to release it. And then on Friday, we're going to do the release process. And by the time, this time next week, you should all be in union. Bitch, it better work. Your hard work is paying off. You see that? Look at that. Your hard work is paying off. So you've really relied on your willpower. Listen, divine feminines, I want you to take a moment right now, and I want you to think about how difficult it has been for divine masculine not to come to you when he wasn't correct. Because the MO is to come when he's not correct. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of hard work to remain quiet and be secretive about your challenges, because you don't want to bring divine feminine into a situation that is foggy and unclear and unstable. It takes a lot of work. That is an unselfish act. There might be selfish reasons behind that act, but ultimately it's unselfish. So just acknowledge that this masculine energy has had a big job to maintain this divide. Because when the divine feminine energy is equally unstable, coming together means that now we have this feminine energy that's not quite sure of herself, not quite confident, doesn't quite feel like she can handle the situation, and now she's taking action? Okay, you know what that looks like? That looks like when I first moved out to the West Coast, felt extraordinarily guilty about leaving my son on the East Coast, And so every couple of months would sacrifice the place I lived, the job I had, so that I could go back for a week-long vacation or pay for him to come out here. And every time I did that, I would financially destabilize myself. I would have to start all over again. And I did this like 3, 4, 5 times when I first moved out to the West Coast. Until 2017, when I took my 11-year-old son, swallowed the huge lump in my throat, and was like, look, I gotta stay out here, and I probably can't come back for Christmas, and I might not be able to fly you out here until the summertime, and it's not fun, but I'm gonna talk to you every day on FaceTime like we've been doing, but if I don't do that, I'm never gonna be in a position where you can live with me full time, which is what we both want. And my brave little son said, okay, Mom, and he did it. It is hard to make those choices, but if you don't, you're just gonna keep cycling back through. You're gonna be letting that feminine energy, which was like, I have to be with my child, override the masculine energy, was just like, listen, we need to have a stable foundation so that we can be with our child. If one side is out of balance and comes together with the other side, you create a lot of chaos, which is what I did for 5 years until I stopped doing that. Now, there's a lot of stability here, a lot more stability than there ever was. I survived COVID in a way that I would not have survived it. I haven't seen my son since the summer of 2019. That's devastating. But I'm stable enough that in the next few months, it looks like he could live with me indefinitely now. So you have to be really thankful that your masculine energy has kept this wall up, because until you were in your Empress energy and can maintain it. Because let's see how you're doing, Princess, after this week. When you're being focused on a masculine energy all week, let's see how we're doing. If you can maintain it, it's time to come together. If you cannot, it is not time, and he is doing you a favor, and you should acknowledge that hard work, because it took hard work for him. Divine Masculine, share your voice. Come out of the cave, face this persecution in order to be in your full expression. This is what you are afraid of, but you are going to be strong enough to face it. And this advice coming from Spirit is absolutely being reinforced by the Skunk Spirit card, which is Know Your Worth. And this is a card about how not everyone is going to like how you smell. Not everyone is going to like what you present to the world. But you have to know your worth and know your value and not need approval, not need outside approval, not be worried about perceptions or persecution, but just know that you have a right to express yourself and that you do have this worth energy. And then I shuffled this entire deck and this angel came out again, which is funny because I didn't fully read it the last time I got it. So we're going to close this reading today with this card from the Rumi deck. I used, this is Elena Fairchild's decks, and I don't know if you know her. She's an incredible author of these books and guides that come with these decks. They're beautiful, and they're also just incredible artwork. But she can go on. So this is going to be a bit of reading. But after this, we will do the daily things that Divine Masculine Energy needs to do today in order to come into alignment. But let's take a look at Rumi's The Angel Rasbar. This is 27. It's so funny that this came out again. Tell me the truth, I asked love. What are you? I am the everlasting life, love said. I am the recurring joy of living. The master speaks of a den of riches where many precious jewels can be found. In abundance they lie, patient and yet ready to be claimed. Go scoop them up, urges the master. The devoted ones look but cannot see. Where are these precious jewels, they cry, for we cannot find them anywhere. The master gazes lovingly at the devoted ones and responds kindly. In service, my beloveds, you shall find the jewels through service.
For what is the soul but the finest and most precious of heavenly jewels? What is service but the scooping up of the soul, that it does not lie lost nor unclaimed, but instead honored for all its precious worth and beauty, tended to until it becomes vibrant as a flawless ruby, radiant with the joy of living. This oracle comes to you with guidance. You're being guided deeper into your life purpose and divine destiny. Like a maturing adult who is ready to take on the mantle of a greater responsibility, your soul is stepping up. You are going through a process of assuming more spiritual responsibility for the honest and empowered expression of your own essence. And through that, your healing presence in the world is increasing. You are stepping up and forward onto your path. This is appropriate now. It will make you more visible, but that is as it should be. It is not about being worth more than another. It is about the utterly sensible use of a light that is not to be dampened down by a shade, but instead be placed where it can cast its fullness, so that others still in darkness may find their way more easily. This is efficient, intelligent, and sensible. Your success and growth is drenched in compassion and brings joy to the heart of the master as another and another find their way, benefiting from the light of your being. So shine true, be humble, but not dismissive of your gifts. Allow others to find their way more easily because you choose to honor the power of the great silence that emanates through you evermore as you trust and surrender. This oracle brings special messages of reassurance that you are making progress and are indeed on the right path. Although it may not unfold exactly as you anticipate, it will indeed unfold. You are making a positive impact in the world, more than you consciously realize, and you are asked therefore to continue. Do not give up, do not turn back, just continue. Take your steps, your journey, and know that the great master is aware of you and is sending the holy ones, including that wise ancient mother, Angel Rasbar, to bring you the blessings of the true silence now. Let it clear and soothe your mind and heart and help you remember that peace that dwells within you. All is well. And then there's a sacred honoring ritual, and I will post that in my stories if you want to do that for yourself later today. That tracks perfectly, because absolutely divine masculine energy got that expression card from the Work Your Light deck too. There is a fear here that once he allows that integration of the feminine, that he will not be able to defend himself. But it's the opposite. It is only through the union with the feminine that he can fully defend himself. So, in closing, let's pull these class cards from the Island Time Wellness Oracle, and then just some playing cards to get what you should focus on today to come into alignment. Please like and share and subscribe and save and click the link in the bio or the description box below for Patreon to support me. My record is coming out. I'm going to be doing a lot more with my Patreon, so please go over there and let us see. Oh dear. So, Divine Masculine, we are getting a cassette tape in reverse, which is outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over and over in your mind. So stop doing this. Stop playing these scenarios over and over and over again in your mind. This is outdated thinking. It's thinking about stuff that happened in the past. It is literally what you're attached to. It's like you're not even attached to this past Empress energy anymore. You're just attached to thinking about the results of having ever been attached to it. So it's like, let it go, man. Let it go. Stop clinging to this mess, this outdated thinking. Transcend these obstacles. There was an emphasis on this card. You are learning expansion. You are in a new phase and you are fully preparing for this union. And you know what? Its reversal to me is like, you've done this, buddy. Like, you've released this outdated thinking. You are absolutely in this position to transcend these obstacles, because the next cards are develop this strategy in this Queen of Swords energy. First of all, maintain these healthy boundaries from this past energy. Do not let this past energy get in. Maintain these boundaries. Use that forceful Queen of Swords energy to just continue to maintain boundaries with the past and strategize about how to give this Ace of Pentacles. So now we have the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups twice, and the Ace of Pentacles. So you've got an offer and you're absolutely capable of strategizing for how to move forward with this. If you release the outdated thinking and embrace that you have prepared yourself for union, you're in union. You're in union. There's so much union in the spread. It was like I just had 2 decks repeat themselves in the same positions. It was kind of scary. I don't know. Sometimes my own power is a little scary to me. You're in union, okay? And just to verify that, the bottom of the deck for you from this is sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, and transformation. There's that lightning from the Tower energy. And the 3 of Pentacles, which is 3D energy, grounding, collaboration, working together, teamwork, but sudden changes in how you've been doing things and how you've been working. Sudden changes in something. If it's been in the 5D, it's suddenly becoming 3D. It's suddenly becoming real. So embrace the changes. That was a long reading. I'm fully exhausted, and I'm going to go now into my coven meeting, which is a fun one today. I think we're just going to paint our nails and chat. Totally down for that. Then I have to do my scheduling, and then I have to do website stuff, and I will be off tomorrow. I will see you here on Wednesday for the obstacles removed for Divine Masculine. Thursday, I'm going to be in the studio. Friday, again, we will do obstacles released, and then, or releasing obstacles, I guess, because it's like we figure out what we're supposed to release, think about that for a day, and then we actually do the process of releasing it over the weekend, and I'll see you Sunday. All right, thank you so much for being here with me today. Please show me all the love. It does help support me to be able to give you these lovely readings and this perspective for free. Thank you so much and have the best day today.